me get dressed here. It's not warm out here. Hello and welcome to this week's mailbag. I am Doug Kide. If you have a question for me, tweet it to me at Doug Kide using the hashtag MailDoug, and I will try to get around to answering it in my mailbag. First question here comes from Pat's fan Matt, who asks, Stephon Gilmore on Thielen or Diggs? And this is a very good question. Stephon Gilmore typically shadows a team's best receiver, usually a bigger receiver. There is one interesting situation here, and that's that Stefon Diggs didn't practice on Wednesday and Thursday. So if he doesn't play on Sunday, then this issue really kind of solves itself. But if he does play, I lean towards putting Gilmore on Diggs, and that's only because Adam Thielen is really the Vikings' top slot cornerback as well, and Jason McCourty, the Patriots' other outside cornerback, has more experience following players into the slot. So if I'm the Patriots, I probably put Stephon Gilmore on Stefon Diggs just because he might not be their best wide receiver, but he is their top outside receiver. He's a speedy receiver. I think that Gilmore would do well against him. Then I would put Jason McCourty on Adam Thielen and have him follow him into the slot when he lines up inside. I think that as long as Jason McCourty's got some help on Thielen, that would work out pretty well. And then I would actually put undrafted rookie cornerback J.C. Jackson on the Vikings' number 3 wide receivers, whether that's Laquan Treadwell or Aldrick Robinson, whoever else is in that spot, over a guy like Jonathan Jones, who's really been the Patriots' number 3 cornerback, just because I think the Patriots need to give J.C. Jackson a shot. I think they need to get him a lot of playing time heading into the playoffs because he might just be the Patriots' best 3rd cornerback on the roster. Second question here comes from Mike at Pats5X712, who asks, how will Birkhead be reworked back into the system? I think that he could receive a good amount of touches in his first week back. We just talked to him in the locker room. It sounds like he's really ready to get back out there. He's ready to play against the Vikings. Sounds like he will play in that game coming off the concussion and neck issues. I don't think he'll be, the bell cow running back. I don't think he'll be the Patriots' top pass catcher, but I think he will be worked in the system in both roles, spelling Sony Michel on early downs, spelling James White on 3rd downs. I think all 3 guys will get a pretty significant amount of touches, throughout the last 5 weeks of the season and into the playoffs, but I do expect Birkhead to come up 3rd on that touches list as the season continues. And the final question comes from Stefon, speaking of Stefons, real Stefon, who asks, which wide receiver who's currently on the roster is most likely to get an extension? And he put in parentheses, only Edelman and Berrios signed for 2019, hashtag MailDoug. There is one other wide receiver signed through 2019. Doesn't really matter, but it's Darren Andrews. He's a guy on NFI right now. But the most likely receiver is Josh Gordon because he's a restricted free agent after this season. He's not an unrestricted free agent. So the Patriots could offer him either a 1st-round tender, a 2nd-round tender, or a low-level tender to just get him back for the 2019 season. I think that's very likely that that will happen as long as Josh Gordon stays out of trouble throughout the rest of the season. So that basically means that the Patriots will either get him back for 2019 or they'll receive a 1st or 2nd round pick. And that's really kind of a win-win-win for the Patriots, whether they get him back or get a 1st or 2nd round pick. So the Patriots are definitely in good shape with Josh Gordon's contract situation.